So, good
And
afternoon,
Visa.
everyone. Warm welcome to today's session on leadership skills, inspiring and leading teams to success. I am Shruti Agrawal from GenQ, where we work closely with startups to support innovation and growth. I'm thrilled to be a host for this power-packed and insightful session. In today's fast-moving startup world, leadership is not just about position; it's about vision, empathy, and action. And to help us understand this better, we are joined by an inspiring mentor, Mr. Subham Raj. Shubham, hi.
Hello.
So Shubham is the founder and CEO of Zeber and the Startup Club India and has already impacted over 2 lakh people with his mission to empower and uplift aspiring entrepreneurs. He's also a three-time hackathon judge, a TEDx speaker, and an AI strategist. Having mentored 100 plus startups, he brings with him an impressive blend of startup experience, technological expertise in AI, machine learning, and digital marketing, and a passion for community building. From founding ventures like Base, Coffee Caffeine, and BadBusiness.in to leading the Startup Sphere Society at MAIT, Shubham is truly at the intersection of innovation, leadership, and execution. Today, he'll be sharing practical insights on how to build leadership skills that drive teams, use creativity, and lead startups to success. So, without further ado, let's dive right in. Over to you, Shubham.
So thank you for this great introduction. And yeah, I can without wasting any time, we can start the session. So आज का session leadership पे है. We all know like what's the importance of leadership, and especially in a startup where जहाँ पे हम like we build teams from scratch because एक बहुत छोटी team होती है and without any funding in the in a very starting like most startups do not have funding. So you have to build a team and to manage them without any profits because like startups takes around months and years to get into the profitable startup. So like handling a team with like zero money, I would say, and you are not paying them. So it's required a very great leadership skills, and not just that, to build any product from a scratch and selling it in the market. It's not an easy job. That's why like if it is an easy job, then in every where like ह- हर दूसरा इंसान एक एंटरप्रेन्योर होता. तो लाइक लीडरशिप एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट स्किल होती है. लाइक एक स्टैट्स मैंने कहीं पढ़ा था कि लाइक इन इंडिया और नॉट जस्ट इन इंडिया, ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड, मोस्टली स्टार्टअप फेल विद इन 2 years of their startup. The biggest reason is leadership, I would say, because not having clear expectation, goals, leads to the failure of any startup. So being a startup founder, you should have this skills. You might uh, get trained during this journey. You might learn a lot during this journey of creating a startup and all. And other than this, if I talk about a little bit about this session, so this session is not just about for only for budding entrepreneur, but if you are an entrepreneur who have got funding, or if you are an established entrepreneur uh, leading a good amount of people and uh, like creating a good revenue for your startup. So this session will definitely helps you too. So without wasting any time, we can move forward to our first slide. So like this is the thing, like आज के सेशन में हम ये सारी चीजें कवर करने वाले हैं. So this is the table of content, and let's move forward. So now I will go into step by step on the leadership thing. तो बेसिकली लीडरशिप से मोस्टली लोग क्या समझते हैं, लाइक एक लीडरशिप के बहुत सारे पर्पस हो सकते हैं. इट माइट बी यू एंजॉइंग लीडिंग टीम्स, यू माइट बी एंजॉइंग लाइक आइडियाज, सोचना, एग्जीक्यूट करना, ये सारी स्किल्स होती हैं. और लाइक यू माइट बी जैसे मुझे प्रोडक्ट मैनेजमेंट और लाइक प्रोडक्ट बिल्डिंग काफी पसंद है. फ्रॉम building anything from scratch, it might be a website, it might be anything. तो ये मुझे काफी पसंद था. Everyone have like inspirational and a mentor or a leader, you can say. For me it's Elon Musk. For like I admire him a lot. You for in your case it might be anyone else. So it depends person to person. Same way, like for leadership, I would say हम सबकी जो इंस्पिरेशन होता है, हमें उनसे कुछ टेक अवेज लेने चाहिए, बिकॉज दे मस्ट बी डूइंग समथिंग डिफरेंट. हर लीडर की खुद की एक डिफरेंट अप्रोच होती है टुवर्ड्स लाइफ, टुवर्ड्स एवरीथिंग. There's a quote written here: leadership is an art of giving people a platform for spreading ideas. It's a very beautiful quote because, like in leadership, people think leadership is a position. It comes up with power. That I accept. Like leadership is not an easy job. It comes with a power of, like, of superiority. Like, and other than this, like, there's a quote like, you must know, there's a Spider-Man movie, there's a quote like, great powers comes with great responsibility. And it's totally aligned with the thing of leadership. Because in leadership, you will you are having the, maybe if you are a startup founder, you like 10 20 people are working under you, so you have the supreme power in that. But it's not like you are like thinking that you are a king of this kingdom or something like that. So because that, people do not like that. You should be friendly with them. You should be like a family with them, and which we will discuss in other slides too. So basically, this quote summarizes this slide that if you are a leader, give people autonomy to give their ideas, to give anything. Like if they have a random idea they want to spread on the table, just give them opportunity. It might be wrong, it might be yes. Like I have worked under many leaders in my life, and thanks to, like, I'm very much thankful to them, that they always give me opportunity to express my idea. Some ideas are like very bad, some ideas are very good, but they always appreciate doing this, and because of that, I like, मैं जहाँ भी हूँ उस इन सब उन लोगों की वजह से ही हूँ. So yeah. So role of a leadership in a startup growth. So like as I like tell in the starting, like कि एक startup के लिए कितना important होता है एक अच्छे leader का. Because if you are a good leader, you can manage a team with, whom you are not paying, whom which growth is in your hand. If like आज की डेट में, like, people have opportunity to do unpaid internship in like MNCs or established companies. But if a person is working in your startup, and if you are like student, or like if you, even your friend is working in your startup, he must having a trust in you that you, with help of them, will build something great. So this is an entrepreneurship mindset, and your key motivation to drive your own startup should align with your team. Creating a team is very important for a leader. That I think this is the biggest first thing as a leader, or a CEO or anything. If you are in a company or a position, like, hire a good people जिसका mindset आपके साथ align हो. This is the most important thing, because, like, I have seen in my experience that sometimes people uh, hire those peoples too which जिनकी सोच के साथ नहीं मिलती है. They, if they want to do something in this direction, that person is thinking in the opposite direction, and at the end of the day, the clash comes in, which do not create a very healthy environment. So always hire those people who aligns with your idea. And, like, so this is the hiring thing, like, is a very basic thing कि uh, सही लोगों को hire करो. And other than this, मैं एक as a suggestion देना चाहूंगा कि never hire you look closest friend. This is a personal suggestion. Like, it's, you do not find it anywhere, like, on, like, social platforms. This is something from experience. Because sometimes if you like, I have seen many students like consider their co-founder as their bestest friend. Because friendship and businesses sometimes, uh, as- because there's a point comes in your business that your friendship and your business both will sacrifice because of your decisions, or for many things. Because, like, if you are building something, different people have different opinions regarding that, and sometimes your friendship definitely affects. So like, based on my experience, what I have seen in my journey, in my whole journey, that friend, like, your closest friend can't be a very good co-founder, or if he will, you might end up sacrificing your friendship. So consider this thing too. Other than this, you should like as a leader in any startup, you should have a clear communication between your every uh, members or your teammates, because like if you are not clear about your idea, they will not like deliver their best, because clarity of thought is very much important. Let's move to the next slide. Leadership and management. So as a leader, the management skills is very much important, because come to the last point I was telling you, that for any leader, like you should have a clear goal, clear task, and clear KPI, like what you need to do, what is your key performance effort, or like what you want from that particular person. If there any person in your company is working for marketing, for example, as he's a head of marketing, what should be their role, or is there anything that they affecting tech work, or like your आपके जो मार्केटिंग हेड है कहीं वो टेक में इंटरफेयर कर रहा है, आपका टेक का गाय मार्केटिंग क्या चीजें कर रहा है, तो इट नॉट लाइक इज अ गुड थिंग फॉर अ कंपनी, बिकॉज एवरीवन शुड हैव अ डिजाइन्ड रोल in a company. So that's the thing as of a leader, and you should know everything about them, like not personal thing I am telling you, like how they are working and how much time they need into learning, because everyone has different learning curve. Some are slow learner, but in the future they become a good asset for the company. But some are very fast learner, but they are not productive enough. So there are lots of things as a leader you should know. Other than this, like as a leader, you should have the track of what how the graph going. You should have a knowledge of like all the things in your company. Might be you're a tech leader, tech founder, but you should have a knowledge of marketing and sales, because as a leader you need to build people. And for example, if you're a tech person, or if you're a non-tech person, or if you're a tech person and a non-tech guy comes in your company, so as a founder you should know like how non-tech things also work. Even if you are a totally a tech guy, if you are an engineer, you are into tech, but if you are building something, and if any of your teammate got stuck anywhere, their eyes in on you, that you have to you like कहीं भी फंसोगे तो he is the guy, yeah, which he or she can communicate with. This is called a trust, जो कि आपको अपने टीममेट्स के बीच में प्रोड्यूस करना है. If you will able to do this, you are a good leader, because like trust is the most important thing. कि you should be like a wall for your whole team. You can move to the next slide. Leading high performance team. So yeah, the KPI point I was talking about. So as I said before, clearing a good expectation. Like if, as I said, like you cannot expect everything from one person. That's why we call a team. In a team, everyone has a certain work, और उससे expectation भी उतनी ही रखनी है. If you are expecting too much with a person, at the end of the day he got fed up with you, and he might leave your company or a business or a startup, anything. So like clear expectation and clear goal and definition of the goal is very much important. And like promote accountability and the autonomy. Same thing. Like I want to, if you are leading a team, you should empower other people. For example, if there is someone for is if you made a CMO, yeah, chief marketing officer in your company, so give him that autonomy and accountability, that take whatever steps you want to take. Yeah, you might give him suggestion, but let him do what he wants to do, and then see the growth what he is giving. If they like there's a dip, or if there's any failure, just appreciate them and tell them what he can do to improve it. Because may if you are a leader, it's your responsibility. Their growth is in your hand, and you have to think about your teammates too. So you should be focused on the accountability part, like that make the person accountable for all the action they are taking. And if they get failure, then you give him suggestions what to do. You cannot force them to do anything, because then they will feel like you are a dictator, or like you are just forcing them. Just give them opportunity, give them that trust, that either you got fail, you will still get a next chance to do something, or execute your next plan. And as a leader, you create an environment in a company. Like there are lots of if you talk about big companies like Google, Facebook, Microsoft, they all the companies having an environment. Some companies have environment of uh like I have a last Sunday I have a meet with a company, and the founder told me in their company वहां पे एक ऐसा environment है कि हर इंसान को जो भी like if there is a sales person, there is a marketing person, if there is a DevOps person, any person always know the exact data. Like if I ask him what is the MOU, what is the current rate, like, and how's like user acquisition going on, so they will deliver the exact data. And I like this thing, to be very frank. So every company has a different culture. Some company have a comfortable culture, like there is no कि thing like कि कैसे ड्रेस होके आना है, या फिर like कैसे काम करना है, 9 to 5 फिक्स आवर्स। तो ये सारी चीजें एक लीडर ही डिसाइड करता है अपनी टीम्स की रिक्वायरमेंट देख। like lots of startups do not have a culture, but like मैंने कहीं सुना था कि कहीं पे कि a culture starts from the one person. It might be you. Like change comes from the, like if you want the change, first do that change in yourself, then it will replicate to your teammates and other people. So like creating a culture is very much important. एंड जैसे जैसे फिर आपकी टीम में नए लोग आते जाते हैं, वो फिर उस कल्चर से अडेप्ट होते हैं। एंड कल्चर ऐसा बनाना है जहाँ पे लोग स्ट्रेसफुल काम ना करें, अपने वर्क को एंजॉय करें। And at the last, rewarding is very much important. Like I used to do, and all the successful leaders always reward their best talents, or even sometimes the failures too, because sometimes failure hides the hard work the person is have done on the project. It might be like you have given a project to someone, and he got failed to deliver that, but he gives his all hard best. So I think that person deserves recognition, and it is very much important. We can move to the next slide. Now, leadership and style in action. So every leader have their own style of leading their team. Some people focus on only like profit. Some leaders focus on traffic. Like as in business perspective, I am saying that. So like as a leader, it's in your hand how what the thing you want in your company or business or a team. Like I said before, like adapting a culture, and what the change you want to drive in your team, how you want to empower them. For example, few company have an like इनका एक पूरा promotion का एक segment होता है, like after every month or after every 6 months or in a year you get a promotion. So like how that promotion work on the basis of how much you work you have put into that, or like how much like hard work you have put into that, and how much growth you have shown into the company. So there are different states of action you can define in your company. And like in a team, there should be a culture that हर बंदे को जिसको भी डाउट होता है कोई भी किसी भी काम में, he can directly approach you. It should not like that कि अगर आप आपने अपना इतना डर बनाया हुआ है कंपनी में दैट कि अगर उसको सामने वाले को आपको अप्रोच करने से पहले 10 बार सोच रहा है, यू शुड बी हैविंग अ फ्रेंडली कन्वर्सेशन विद देम। you might like if they are friendly with you, might go into their personal life or discuss about their personal life, how they are doing. Because I have seen great leaders doing lunch with their like teammates. Like the founder of the company is doing lunch with the interns of the company, and it's a very established company. I have seen these things in a company environment, and that's a very good thing. Like people appreciate that thing, and like इस आपकी कंपनी का एक इंटर्न भी फिर आपको अप्रिशिएट करेगा, वो आप में उतना ट्रस्ट रखेगा कि उसके दिमाग में अगर कोई आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स आइडिया आता है, ही और शी कैन शेयर इट विथ यू। So there are different actions or things or culture you can create for the change or the to empower your teammates. We can move to the next slide. Real startup leadership in action. So now, like this is a Zerodha, Nitin Kamar's के Zerodha की case study है. Like how he built the trust between their customer, because like Zerodha is one of the best company uh, in past few years I have seen. To be very frank, like building a customer-centric, a suitable business by focusing on simplicity, transparency, and long-term thinking. So Zerodha is a bootstrap company, we all know, and like how their leadership, because like the Nikhil Kamath and the second person, I forgetting his name. So they are two these thing two people, and they come together. How they build the whole Zerodha. I think Zerodha case study should be like you should watch that, because that's a very long a process, like a long thing they have done, and they are like building a bootstrap business in 2025 is not a joke. They have built that. So you should definitely consider, I would say, consider YouTube, and like know how they build the Zerodha, like as a Nikhil Kamath जो कि वो अब like कर रहे हैं, and अपने podcast के through, and then Nitin Kamath, how he is like handling the whole back end. This is something very like uh, I have no words to describe what those guys are doing, and like I have very great hopes कि Zerodha in future भी काफी अच्छा करेगा. So yeah, we can move to the next slide. Self-assessment. Are you a growth-oriented leader? This is the thing I was talking before. Some leaders are growth-oriented. Some leaders are like revenue-oriented, I would say. Like and it also depends upon the company to company. Like if you are a startup and you have invested 2 years in your company and having zero growth, so definitely you will go for like revenue. But if you are a startup generating a small amount of revenue from very starting, so you will go for like what I say, growth based thinking. So it depends company to company, and it's also depend on the leader, as a CEO or a team lead, what you want to do with your company or with your project. So self assessment is very much important for a growth oriented leader. Like what is it your KPI and how to deliver that, checking stats daily, because like being a leader myself and other leader I have seen that daily stats checking is very much important, like how much growth, particularly and very specific growth, like make dashboards to identify like how things are going up and how things are going down. If there is a dip in the graph, like why that dip is going on, so you should know like each and everything. That data analyst thing is very much important, and being a leader, with the time you have to know this, like see how data is working and what thing. Like customer is the king concept if you are a B2C. So what things is driving the most amount of users in your platform, if you are a tech-based platform, and anything. So that graph in any business is very much important, and working on it, like conveying that particular thing with the company, day checking like what your company is doing, what your team members are doing, if they stuck in any problem, are they sharing you with you like that particular problem or not. It's totally in your hand. And also like the experiment thing I have discussed before, like do you have an like leader encouraging experiments or not, because being a leader myself, I always like my interns, my teammates doing experiments, yeah, in a particular manner, or in a way I define that. Okay, so because if the intern comes into your company and say like you are doing this wrong and you should do that, I appreciate that, but I also told you that we have, because you might be there are a few things happen in the company that people used to have lots of ideas, they come up with lots of ideas, but most of the time that ideas we have already implemented, we got failure in that. But I actually like it, because sometimes few interns give that idea which I also not as a leader or my teammates and my managers didn't never think about that thing. So like some out of box ideas definitely comes if you encourage experiments in your company. And there's a thing called A/B testing, like on a small audience. If you're a tech-based platform or anything, you can test that particular experiment on a small audience to know what ROI it's giving. So it's also very much important. Leadership in the remote and digital age. So yeah, basically I think the slide purpose is to tell you that there are lots of as a leader, like in many companies I'm seeing the leader basically connecting through Gmails or Zoom or different platforms. And in this era, like leadership skills need to be like are changing, because पहले क्या होता था कि if there is a problem appearing anywhere in the company, uh, if if I am leading a team, my intern or manager comes to me if I am the leader, that I am stuck in this issue. But like in this era, like we have AIs, we have different things. People get stuck anywhere, they just go and search on Google, ChatGPT or something. Yeah. And other than this, as a leader, you should like there are lots of tools to help you to manage teams. Like they mentioned Notion, Slack, Trello, Zoom, and there's also like I used before Asana and Power BI. There are lots of tools to track like growth or to manage the things. Okay, like if you're a tech person, if you're building a tech startup, Slack is a very good platform. Notion is also a very good platform to deliver the task to the company. So like lots of company I personally know are doing an 100 million company, and they're like working totally remotely. Like uh, I do not mentioning any name of the company, but there are a few company I personally know that they are all the employees work remotely, and they're doing very good in like delivering the task, because through these platforms and in this digital era, leadership has changed a lot. Because like there's a people build funnels through different platform, they are getting feedback and like managing things, and it is, I would say, it's a good thing. For example, being a leader, if मैं कहीं वेकेशन पे जाता हूँ, मैं कहीं घूमने जाता हूँ, और बट स्टिल आई वांट कि जो मेरा स्टार्टअप है वो अच्छे से ग्रो करे, तो मैं वहां पे भी लाइक आई कैन अलॉट द वर्क टू माय टीममेट्स थ्रू नोशन और स्लैक और डिफरेंट प्लेटफॉर्म्स के थ्रू, और जूम के थ्रू मैं मीट ले सकता हूँ। तो ये सारी चीजों ने विद इन 10 to 20 years इस टाइम फ्रेम में इन चीजों को बहुत ज्यादा बूस्टअप किया है। कि लाइक पहले अगर ऐसा होता था कि अगर अगर कोई बड़ा लीडर किसी कंपनी में अगर वो चले जाए थोड़ी देर के लिए छुट्टी पे, या फिर इफ देयर कंपनी शिफ्ट, तो बहुत ज्यादा सफर करती थी कंपनियां। बट नाउ डेज थिंग्स आर, बिकॉज लाइक थैंकफुल टू एआई एंड डिफरेंट प्लेटफॉर्म, थिंग्स आर गेटिंग बेटर एंड बेटर विद द टाइम। मैनेजमेंट काफी इजी हो गया है, टास्क अलॉटमेंट भी काफी इजी हो गया है। तो देर ट्रांसपेरेंसी, चीजों को ट्रैक करना कि कौन सा एम्प्लॉय कितना वर्क कर रहा है, ये सारी चीजों को ट्रैक करना और आसान हुआ है, विच helping me and other leaders. And I think if you are starting your own startup, or if you are a startup founder, you should definitely adapt to this technology. Google Sheets and these are other good things, but like these platforms are totally customized for helping youth. So I think definitely you should try that. And there's a point here I didn't mention it, the feedback loop. I think feedback loop is very important. Like if uh, you like as a leader too, or from their end too. Like if I being a leader done anything wrong, any like एक कोई डिसीजन जो कि शायद अच्छा वर्क ना किया हो, तो आई एज वहां पे कल्चर भी काम आएगा कंपनी का। अगर आप मैंने वैसे कल्चर बनाया हुआ है कि एनी ऑफ माई टीममेट कैन लाइक टेल मी कि मैं यहाँ पे गलत कर रहा हूँ, तो आई कैन ऑल्सो गेट एन फीडबैक फ्रॉम देम। एंड इफ दे आर डूइंग एनीथिंग रॉन्ग, तो मैं उनको भी वहां पे फीडबैक दे सकता हूँ। तो लाइक ऑनलाइन में ये सारी चीजें काफी आसान हुई हैं, जो कि हम भी फॉलो करते हैं। इट from anything in any field, any work, if you are doing, the feedback is very much important within the team and within customer too. Creating a leadership action plan. So like as I discussed before, that as a leader, the action plan is very much important. Like habit building, as I here mentioned, identify your top two growth areas. Okay, like पब्लिक स्पीकिंग, डेलीगेशन, इमोशन, एग्जाम्पल है ऐसे। ठीक है, तो बेसिकली एरियाज ऑफ ग्रोथ कि कहाँ कहाँ आप ग्रो कर सकते हो, ये सारा डेटा एनालिसिस का पार्ट आता है। कि आप अगर आप अपना स्टार्टअप चला रहे हो, तो ये डेटा एनालिसिस से ही पता चलेगा कि आपको कौन सा एरिया लोगों को ज्यादा पसंद आ रहा है, और हाउ कैन यू ग्रो इन दैट पर्टिकुलर एरिया। ठीक है, उसके बाद ये वाली चीज मैंने जैसे मॉर्निंग चेकिंग्स, वीकली चेकिंग्स, ये काफी इंपॉर्टेंट होता है, बिकॉज मैं ये चीज खुद करता हूँ। और अच्छे लीडर्स ये चीज करते हैं, बिकॉज मॉर्निंग लाइक वी हैव 9 a.m. every day morning checking, except Saturdays and Sunday, we have a morning checking जहाँ पे हम डिस्कस करते हैं लाइक कि कल क्या हुआ, पूरे दिन भर में कितना ग्रोथ दिखा, क्या और हम क्या क्या चीजें इंप्रूव कर सकते हैं। दीज आर दोज थिंग्स जो कि अब करना चाहिए। एक मॉर्निंग चेकिंग, वीकली चेकिंग एंड मंथली चेकिंग, these things I personally do and it helps a lot. Sometimes these things might get boring, but yeah, you have to do it for the company growth, and it is must thing, because अगर ये चीजें लॉन्ग टर्म में काफी ज्यादा लाइक इफेक्ट देती हैं, और काफी ज्यादा लाइक वर्किंग है, ये चीज मैंने पर्सनली खुद देखी है. एंड समटाइम्स विथ योर मैनेजर्स यू शुड हैविंग वन एंड वन टॉक्स, like how they are thinking and how their interns are working. So these things are very much important. Finding mentor or peer circle, these are things for these things is for the budding startups. Like I personally think if you have a good mentor, or having a very good peer circle. It might be if you are a college student, you are building a startup, mentor, it might be a college alumni, or if you are building any website or application, it might be a person who's experienced in app development, website development. You can take mentorship from you, because mentorship is very much important, because maybe you get the delivered result by trying a lot. You will learn a lot, but I think that if you go to any experienced guy, he has like failed a lot in his life, and get the desired outcome, so he will let you know कि तुम कहाँ गलत करोगे. उसको वो चीज पता होगी. तो एक अच्छे लीडर की लाइफ में बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. और ट्राई करो कि जब भी कोई वैसी मीटिंग्स हो जहाँ पे आप लीडर से कम्युनिकेट कर रहे हो, तो ट्राई टू लर्न फ्रॉम देम. हैव अ डायरी इन योर हैंड एंड कीप ऑन राइटिंग. डेली चेकिंग्स में भी इफ यू आर लीडर, और लाइक इफ यू आर अ लाइक सीएमओ, तो जो भी सीईओ की तरफ से आपके आ रहा है, या फिर जो भी टीम, एक क्योंकि लीडर्स की भी मीट होती है उसमें, फिर आप लाइक जो भी चीजें हो रही हैं, ऑलवेज ट्राई टू राइट ऑन अ पेपर. बिकॉज ठीक है, लाइक ऑन अ पेपर और गूगल शीट जहां भी आपको मेंटेन करना है, बट इट शुड बी मेंटेन समवेयर, तो जब चीजें जब आप लिखते हो आपके सामने वो चीजें दिखती हैं, तो वो चीजों मतलब उसके होने की पॉसिबिलिटी बढ़ जाती है. ऐसा मैंने पर्सनली खुद देखा है. तो बाकी यही है, सेट लीडरशिप मैट्रिक्स जैसे मैंने बताया कि लाइक क्रिएटिंग अ डैशबोर्ड फॉर पर्टिकुलर स्टैट्स और समथिंग, बार ग्राफ, और लाइक और ग्राफ की मतलब जैसे टेक बेस्ड कंपनीज में क्या होता है कि जिस लिंक के थ्रू इसलिए रेफरल प्रोग्राम गोइंग ऑन, तो कौन सा रेफरल कितना आपको एंगेजमेंट लाके दे रहा है. तो छोटी छोटी लाइक माइन्यूट से माइन्यूट माइक्रो ट्रैकिंग इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर एनी बिजनेस टू ग्रो. एंड इन दिस डिजिटल era it has like things are getting more better. There are lots of platform who is helping people to do the micro tracking too. So data analysis is becoming more easier day by day through the technologies, and people at that our data analyst अपने आप में बहुत बड़ी फील्ड है. Many people pursue that. So that's यहाँ पे उसकी इंपॉर्टेंस बढ़ जाती है, बिकॉज डेटा एंड हर जो भी अच्छी कंपनी है वो डेटा एनालिस्ट पे चलती है. आप Amazon देखते हो, या फिर आप कोई एड देखते हो स्क्रॉल करते टाइम इंस्टाग्राम पे या कहीं भी, उसके पीछे भी ट्रैक होता है कि कितने लोगों ने इसको क्लिक किया, क्लिक थ्रू रेट एंड ओपन रेट कितना है. ये छोटी छोटी चीजें होती हैं जो कि एज अ बिजनेसमैन और एज अ फाउंडर लीडर यू शुड नो. So here we come to the conclusion. So अभी तक जितना भी हम रहा, I want to sum up in few minutes that start small but lead with intention. Yeah, that's very true. That कि it's not important. एक लाइन मैंने कहीं अपने सेशन में बोली थी, that it's you do not need to be great to start. You need to start to be great. So it's no matter from where you are starting. Just स्मॉल स्मॉल स्टेप्स लो. हर एक एज अ लीडर हर एक स्टेप को ट्रैक करो, लाइक हाउ द थिंग्स आर वर्किंग, हाउ थिंग, अगर आपने कोई एक्शन लिया है, कोई एक्सपेरिमेंट किया है, ए बी टेस्टिंग की है स्मॉल ऑडियंस पे, हाउ इट वर्क्स, कितना रिटेंशन आया है, लोगों का क्या फीडबैक है, बिकॉज फीडबैक इज वेरी मच इंपॉर्टेंट. एंड हाउ योर टीम्स इज रिएक्टिंग ऑन दैट. टीम का कल्चर बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है जो हमने डिस्कस किया. एंड एक सबसे बड़ा मूल मंत्र था दैट कि एज अ लीडर इट्स, एक लोग समझते हैं कि उन्हें सब कुछ आना चाहिए एज अ लीडर, लाइक कि मैं ये भी कर लूंगा वो भी कर लूंगा. होता है, मेरे साथ भी स्टार्टिंग में बहुत हुआ था दैट आई आई विल डू द डेवलपमेंट, आई विल डू द मार्केटिंग, आई विल डू द सेल्स. माइट बी आई एम गुड एट फ्यू थिंग्स, बट एक चीज तो है, मैं सब चीज में अच्छा नहीं हो सकता. तो इट्स बेटर टू हायर द प्रोफेशनल इन दैट पर्टिकुलर फील्ड. आइदर यू आर established startup owner or something. अपने जिंदगी में भले ही कितना भी कर लिया हो, यू शुड नीड अ गुड टीम टू स्केल. बिकॉज आप अकेले एक हद तक ही एक्सपैंड कर सकते हो. जब चीजों को बड़ा करना होता है यू शुड नीड अ टीम. एंड टीम एक और मैंने बताया कि फीडबैक लूप की तरह भी काम करती है, एंड वाइस वर्सा. आप उनको फीडबैक देते हो, वो आपको फीडबैक देते हैं. क्या हम ऐसे भी इन चीजों को कर सकते हैं? बिकॉज आप एवरीवन हैविंग अ लिमिटेड नॉलेज, एंड एक डिफरेंट टीम एक डिफरेंट स्किल सेट के साथ आती है, वो अपने नॉलेज से इस चीज को और बेटर कर सकती है. तो ऑलवेज क्रिएट दैट ट्रस्ट इन योर टीम कि आप जो भी एक्शन ले रहे हो, दैट्स वाई लाइक आपकी टीम पे आपको पूरा ट्रस्ट होना चाहिए कि अगर इसने ये चीज बोली है तो कुछ सोच समझ के ही बोली होगी। तो आपके जो स्टेटमेंट्स होते हैं वो वेल रिसर्च होने चाहिए, वो एजम्पशंस पे नहीं चलने चाहिए। ये चीज मैं अपने भी टीम में ये चीज कहता हूँ, दैट डू नॉट गो विद एजम्पशन कि मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि ऐसा होगा। गो विद द स्टैट्स। ये ट्रस्ट बिल्डिंग में काफी ज्यादा मदद करता है इन लॉन्ग टर्म। ठीक है, बिकॉज ये चीज आगे कोई कंपनी का इंटर्न कहे तो फिर भी चलता है बिकॉज ही डू नॉट हैव मच एक्सपीरियंस, बट बीइंग अ लीडर देयर इज एन एक्सपेक्टेशन विथ यू दैट यू शुड, जो भी आप बोल रहे हो वो एक स्टैट्स के को देख के समझ के बोल रहे हो, तो उससे ट्रस्ट बिल्डिंग में मदद मिलती है। इंस्पायर एक्शन नॉट इंस्ट्रक्शन। भैया आप किसी को इंस्ट्रक्शन मत दो, ठीक है, आप उनको खुद उनको उतनी लिबर्टी दो और उनको रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेने का मौका दो कि वो खुद से चीजें करें। अगर वो एक्सपेरिमेंट करना चाहते हैं, ठीक है, आपसे एक बार वैलिडेशन लिया, गिव देम, लेट देम सिंक। एक ये चीज भी मैंने काफी अच्छे लीडर्स में देखी है। दे गिव देयर एम्प्लॉयज एंड टीममेट्स टू लेट देम सिंक। जब वो डूबते हैं फिर वो आके वहां पे उनको बचाते हैं, एंड देन उससे एक ट्रस्ट भी बनता है और एक चीज भी आती है कि हाँ, लाइक आई आई हैव डन दिस। ये अगर मुझे फेलियर शो हुआ, अब मैं इसकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेता हूँ, हाउ आई विल फिक्स देम। तो विद इन ऑल द बाउंडेशन एंड लिमिट्स, आई थिंक यू शुड प्रमोट योर एम्प्लॉयज, बिकॉज एज एन लीडर उनकी ग्रोथ भी आपके हाथ में है। तो यू शुड ऑलवेज गिव देम अ equal opportunity to each and every person in your room, in your team. And final, your team growth is your legacy. As I said before, the growth is their growth is in your hand. So I think that familiar thing, जो कि मुझे पर्सनली एज लीडर काफी अच्छी लगती है, जहाँ पे आप हर एक न्यू इंटर्न भी अगर आता है उससे भी आप कितना इंटरेक्ट करते हो, उसके आइडियाज को कितना अप्रिशिएट करते हो, रिवॉर्डिंग कल्चर है कि नहीं है एज आपके लीडरशिप में, ये छोटी छोटी चीजें बहुत मैटर करती हैं। मेरे फेवरेट लीडर्स MS धोनी, अब्दुल कलाम, ये सब मे बी आप लोगों के भी बहुत सारे पर्सनल फेवरेट लीडर्स होंगे। तो बीइंग अ लीडर, आपकी कामनेस भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग प्ले करती है। आपके आपका बोलने का तरीका, आपका डिलीवरी का तरीका, कि आप किसी भी स्टेटमेंट को किस तरीके से डिलीवर कर रहे हो। अगर कोई आपकी बात नहीं सुन रहा है तो उससे आप कैसे टैकल करते हो, ये छोटी छोटी चीजें हैं। बिकॉज एक लीडर, वही मैंने कहा कि लीडर माइट बी द नॉट नॉट द मोस्ट स्किलफुल पर्सन इन द रूम, बट इज द मोस्ट, आई वुड से, इंस्पायरिंग पर्सन इन द रूम। ये एक लीडर में होना चाहिए, दैट वो अपनी बातों से किसी को इंस्पायर कर सके। Thank you from this is from all my sides, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to deliver and giving all the knowledge I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shubham, for this inspiring session. Actually, we have one or two questions if you can solve
Yeah.
their problems. So there is always a doubt that we have to show our authority as a leader, but we need to be empathetic at the same time. So how do we balance that? Our
So
empathy and our, yeah.
okay. So like yeah, as a leader, ये वाली चीज जरूर होती है दैट अथॉरिटी शोइंग भी इम्पोर्टेंट है। ऐसा नहीं है दैट आपके कंपनी में अगर आपकी कोई अथॉरिटी नहीं है तो फिर चीजें लोग लाइटली लेना स्टार्ट कर देंगे, विच माइट इम्पैक्ट योर बिजनेस अलॉट इन द फ्यूचर, कि फिर आपकी बातों को उतना वेटेज नहीं रहेगा। बट सेम एट द सेम टाइम एम्पैथी इज आल्सो इम्पोर्टेंट, किसी को आपके बिहेवियर रूड ना लगे। तो इन दैट देयर शुड बी अ बैलेंस बिटवीन देम, कि अगर फॉर एग्जांपल इफ देयर इज अ डेली चेकिंग गोइंग ऑन और देयर मीट, अगर आपने किसी एम्प्लॉय को शायद बिकॉज ऑफ देयर बिहेवियर और बिकॉज ऑफ देयर फेलियर, अगर शायद मे बी नॉट इंटेंशनली आपने उसको थोड़ा डांट भी दिया, अगर थोड़ा ज्यादा डांट दिया, तो एक चीज, ऐसा नहीं है कि हमने ये सारी गलतियां कभी की नहीं है, मैंने बीइंग अ लीडर एक दो बार ऐसा किया है। तो क्या होता है, बस उससे एक पर्सनली जाके खुद जाके बात करो, बिकॉज और ये आप पहले भी कर सकते हो, जरूरी नहीं है कि डांटना इज द थिंग। अगर आप किसी को डांट नहीं रहे हो तो उससे जाके पर्सनली बात करो कि उससे क्या प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, क्यों ये चीज अराइज हुआ। तो आई थिंक वो वन एंड वन कनेक्ट इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग देयर, बिकॉज जब आप किसी से पर्सनली जाके कन्वर्सेशन करते हो ना, दैट कन्वर्सेशन इज वेरी डिफरेंट। कि जब और वो डिफरेंट कन्वर्सेशन होती है जो आप पूरी टीम के साथ करते हो, बिकॉज देयर आर फ्यू थिंग्स जो कि आप सिर्फ उसके और आपके बीच में ही वो बातें होनी चाहिए, जिससे वो भी उस आपके सिचुएशन को समझेगा और आप उसकी सिचुएशन को समझ सकते हो सकता है दैट दैट पर्सन जो कि शायद इतना अच्छा लाइक काम में नहीं कर पा रहा है, देयर सम पर्सनल प्रॉब्लम्स गोइंग इन हिज लाइफ, तो वो भी पता होना आपको जरूरी है। बिकॉज ऐसे बहुत सारे लीडर्स को मैंने देखा है कि वो मतलब इन द मीटिंग अगर उनको दिख ग्रोथ नहीं दिखती है तो वो अपने एम्प्लॉयज को थोड़ा सा डांट देते हैं, जो कि ठीक है उनके लिए गलत नहीं है, बिकॉज लाइक देयर जॉब इज टू डिलीवर दैट, एंड बट दे आर लाइक नॉट जस्ट ओनली थिंग दे आर डूइंग, कुछ पर्सनल लाइफ में कुछ हो सकता है, तो वो भी जानना एज अ लीडर बहुत जरूरी है। दिस इज द आंसर।
Okay. So, and we have another question. How leadership is different in startups and with established organization? मतलब, what is the difference when it comes to leadership with startups and in established organizations?
Okay. So leadership in startups is like because in startup they are a very small team. So even if you are doing an $100 billion or something, still I have seen lots of startup having a team of 150 or to 200 employees. So there is personal connect is very important, because your everything you are doing is noticed by each and every member of the company. Like your actions have a great impact in a startup instead of in a big company. In big companies what happens that like there is an BOD meeting, board of directors meet. So the decisions are not totally in your hand. You might have the greatest stake in decision making, but the whole authority is not in your hand. So that there is lots of leaders come together to take any decision. So for example, let's take an example of Sundar Pichai. He's the current CEO of Google. So if he want to implement anything, he want to creating an metaverse or creating a very new AI other than Gemini. So it's not totally in his hand. Uh, he have to consult with the board of directors. He have and they will discuss of around 1 month discussion going on that on that particular thing. That what are the like failure rate, what are the profit rate, how much investment they have to put in to build and different AI or metaverse they want to build. So I'm taking this example of Google. So like it's and it might be idea get rejected. For example, if then board of directors of five member board of director, three people are against you, like against your idea, not you, against your idea, that the idea will be rejected. So in big companies, the BOD thing follows, and so decision making is like to and it actually BOD helps because the efficiency of decision making improves, because in big companies a small to small decisions impact a lot of audience, because you are catering a big amount of audience. Like Google is catering all over the countries in the world. So a small to small decision of Google might impact a huge number of people. So I think it's a good thing. BOD is a good thing and works very good there. But in a startup, what happens is that most of the powers is in your hand. If you are a three or two founder, most of the power relies on your hand. If you are the CEO of the company, you have the greatest stake. And sometimes like I have seen, like if there are three co-founder startup, still there is a one person having the greatest stake in of authority. The mostly decision making part is done by that person, and no one in the company can question that. So this is the biggest difference, that in in a startup you have the like or biggest opportunity, I would say autonomy to take any decision, but it not happen with big companies. And other than this, the relationship with the each and every employee, or it might be your return, it might be your full-time employee, is very important in a startup, because it's a very small team. You have to convert, you have need of each and every person in your particular team. You not having much budget to pay their salaries. You are not you might be not giving them a salary of a market rate salary. So to deliver the good out of them in that low salary, there's your reputation, your trust on them, or a trust of growth that you will provide them is very much important. But for in a big companies, like it's not possible for a leader to like communicate or connect with each and every employee. So like there's only leadership group, like there are a group of leaders that only communicate with CEO or like with board of director. So yeah, the personal relation, building of trust is very much important in a very initial stage of any startup, or even after establishing a startup too. But for other big company, established company, these things matters, but not in a that manner. Yeah. Thank
Understood. Thank you so much, Shubham, for such a personalized and inspiring session. Your thoughts on visionary leadership and empowering teams with purpose and clarity has given all of us some major takeaways to reflect on. I'm sure every attendee here is walking away with real world insights and a renewed motivation to lead their startup journey more effectively. To all our participants, thank you for joining us today. To stay connected and informed about our such insightful sessions, don't forget to follow us on our social handles. And until next time, keep learning, keep innovating, and keep leading. Again, thank you, Shubham. Thank you so much a lot. Have a fantastic day
you.
ahead. Thank
Thank
you.
you.